is before November, but I thought while I have all my books out to count for my book buying ban project, book acquiring ban project, I would do my Novella November as it stands now. I pulled out all the books that fit into the Novella November category, which are all novels that are under 175 pages. So that's how I classify a novella. There might be one or two that are like 176, 177. These are all books on my TBR. These are all books that I want to read. I have done several novella videos on novellas that I just love, my favorite novellas, and I will list those down below. It was also recently Shorty September, so I also did a video with all the short books on my TBR shelf, which are books that are over 175 pages but under 250 pages, and it was a lot of books. So if you're interested to see those books, you can also check that video out. But without further ado, and in no particular order, here are all my novellas on my TBR, all possibilities to read this Novella November. Dear Diego by Elena Poniatowska. This is a translated work, and it was translated from the Spanish by Catherine Silver. Eastbound by Melis de Carangle. This is another translated work, translated from the French by Jessica Moore. Mary Riley by Valerie Martin. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. My Life and Hard Times by James Thurber. 1,000 Cranes by Yasunari Kawabata. Quicksand by Nella Larson. A Rage in Harlem by Chester Himes. Annie John by Jamaica Kincaid. Train Dreams by Dennis Johnson. Kirbet Kaza by S. Yazhar. Kane by Jean Toomer. The Underdogs by Mariano Azula. O Pioneers by Willa Cather. A Man's Head by Jorge Simonon. The 39 Steps by John Buchan. After Dark My Sweet by Jim Thompson. Paradise by Fernanda Melchar. And this was translated from the Spanish by Sophie Hughes. The Eye by Vladimir Nabokov. The Year of the Elephant by Leila Abuzad, translated by Barbara Parameter. The Bookshop by Penelope Fitzgerald. More Tish by Mary Roberts Reinhardt. The Paddington Mystery by John Rode. Flet by Joelle McSweeney. Diary of an Oxygen Thief by Anonymous. Concrete Island by J.G. Ballard. The Sense of an Ending by Julian Barnes. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. I think this is also an anonymous book, but it was translated by Bernard O'Donoghue. A Room of One's Own, Virginia Woolf. A Plague of Pythons by Frederick Pohl. Wild Town by Jim Thompson. Nicetown, a Matt Bell mystery by Tom Bates. Demon in the Skull by Frederick Pohl. The Emperor Was Divine by Julie Otsaka. The Buddha in the Attic by Julie Otsaka. No Happy Ending by Paco Ignacio Tebay II. And this was translated by William I. Newman. The Cat from Outer Space by Ted Key. The Green Hills of Earth by Robert A. Heinlein. The Day After Tomorrow by Robert A. Heinlein. The Green Brain by Frank Herbert. The Bridges at Toko Ri by James Michener. The Pirates of the Asteroids, written by Isaac Asimov, writing as Paul French. Venus in Furs by Leopold von Sacher-Masoch. The Crazy Kill by Chester Himes. The Autobiography of an Ex-Colored Man by James Weldon Johnson. Sundiata, An Epic of Old Mali by D.T. Nyani. Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. Lucky Star and the Big Son of Mercury by Isaac Asimov. The Men of Brewster Place by Gloria Naylor. Tales of the Dalai Lama by Pierre Del Latour. Endless Nights by Elizabeth Hardwick. The Carousel Carver by Perdita Bushin. The Quarry by Damon Galgut. The Member of the Wedding by Carson McCullers. The Troll Garden by Willa Cather. The Immortalists by Andre Gide, translated by Richard Howard. July's People by Nadine Gordimer. Beard's Roman Women by Anthony Burgess. The Prone Gunman by Jean-Patrick Monchette. A Violet Wind by Kit Earnshaw. The Story of a Long Distance Marriage by Siddish Indamar. And those are all the novellas that I currently have. I definitely look forward to reading a lot of them during Novella November. Let me know what you plan on reading. And let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned here. Let me know if there's any that I should prioritize to get to in November. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!